Hi, everyone. Welcome to Unleash Her. I'm Roberta, and I am the host of the podcast, Unleash Her. Listen, thank you so much for being here. Today is a very, very special day for me. Now, process of this podcast because things have changed in my life. And I love this because when this happens, that means that you're growing. So, the new title will be Unleashed. I felt it. I felt it from the core. I felt as I stepped into this new version of myself, that's what it was. I was unleashing her and then I was unleashed. I became the person that I have been wanting to step into. And I'm here to share with you today all of the things that I have been doing in my life. And so, um, I'm creating a masterclass, and it's actually this Friday, June the 20th. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. And it's a free class. And I want to share with you there. That's where I'm going to go in depth on the things that I did to look and feel 10 years younger. So, listen, I feel better now than I ever have. And I know that if I can do it, you can. Would you ever look in the mirror and just not like what you see? Because I know I've been there. Actually, I hated myself for a while. There was a time in my life that I thought I was restarting my life as an empty nester. And I moved into this beautiful apartment, not here, not where I'm at right now, um, but a beautiful apartment overlooking the river. And I was there for like 3 weeks alone by myself. It happened to be a two-bedroom apartment. It was the only thing available. And so I was staying there, and 3 weeks later, I received a call that changed my life forever. So my 22-year-old daughter at the time had been hit by a car while crossing the street in a crosswalk, and I was like 3,000 miles away. So that day, my life changed. I didn't know what I was going to see and expect to see when I got home, but one day at a time, I became a caregiver for my daughter who had a traumatic brain injury and other invisible injuries. And that process of healing lasted a lot longer than I had ever anticipated. But I'll tell you, it wasn't just injuries from that car hitting her, it was injuries from the past. And I'm not talking just my daughter, myself at the same time went through on went on a healing journey. I had no idea what was going to happen. There was a point in 2020 that I hit rock bottom. I'm going to tell you what, I was pissed off. The one thing that I had was taken from me. And as a hairstylist, all of our jobs were furloughed. So, whereas it was the worst time in my life, I'm very grateful for it now because of my decisions at that time led me to where I'm at today. And I know sometimes things feel heavy. You may be in a place in your life that don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You may be so stressed out and dealing with a lot of anxiety, which I did too. I also dealt with a lot of depression. And if you have depression, a lot of that usually stems from not dealing with past trauma. And so I went on this journey of healing from the inside out. And during this time, I found this mentor, Bob Proctor. If you knew him, he was in the movie The Secret. And it's an awesome movie. If you haven't seen it, it's a documentary. Go watch it. It was so motivating to me. I had never seen anything like that. And I knew that if other people could change their lives, I could too, because they had also hit rock bottom at some point in their life. And so I began this journey and I actually joined his coaching program. It was a year long. And that year, wow, one step at a time, one day at a time. I started opening my mind to everything that I had never thought of before. I became aware of my thoughts, of everything that I was thinking. I became aware of the things that I was saying, what was coming out of my mouth. I became aware of the actions that I was taking. And after all of this awareness, I knew I had to be still. I had to take time to work on me. And I did have time. Some of us don't have as much time. We're working, um, full-time jobs. We're taking care of little ones and we're doing all the things. But I'm going to tell you, it doesn't take a lot of time to make changes in your life. Actually, just a few minutes, 7 minutes a day. Yes, 7. At least. Let's start with 7 minutes. Let's start. I started writing down the things that I was grateful for. I started making goals for myself that I had never had. I had just been living on the fly. Like it was crazy the life that I had been living. During my times of depression and anxiety, I turned to alcohol. I drank a lot. I overate. I was very unhealthy. So once I started really digging in and healing myself from the inside and letting go of that past trauma and the things that no longer served me, I my body began to heal. I'm not on any prescription medicines at this time. I am 56 years old and I feel freaking amazing. And that's why I'm here. I am here to let you all know that you do not have to accept what your circumstances are today. It's being aware of that and understanding that if somebody else can do this, you can too. I noticed that my skin changed. It wasn't just a healing from, the inside. It came outward and it reflected in my appearance. You can see it in someone's eyes. You can see the life in their soul. You can see someone when their energy and their aura is is pure and clean, you know. And that's one thing I decided I was going to change. I was going to forgive myself and forgive others and let go of all that and quit blaming. A lot of us, obviously, our subconscious minds are programmed, and it's the first 7 years of your life. So we don't have a lot of control over that. You know, we have our parents or whoever raised us, and that is the example that we had in our lives. And that is how we learn what we believe is possible. But I'm telling you, it is never too late to make changes in your life. It's never too late. I didn't start till I was over 50. And, I'm not here to tell you all about all my things, but I wrote a book with my daughter about her accident and about how we could help others heal from other invisible injuries. The book is called She Looks Fine. And the title came from people saying, she looks fine. She should be able to just go on with her life and move on. And I'm going to tell you what, recovering from a concussion, a traumatic brain injury, a TBI, other words called, um, it takes time. It takes time to heal. And that is okay. We all are on different journeys and it takes longer for others. And during this process, I started this personal development and I was in Bob Proctor's program. That's where I got the idea to write a book because I knew I had to share my story with everyone. That book led to a collaboration, and it was actually a tribute to Bob Proctor after his passing in, I believe it was 2023 or 2022. Sorry about that. Um, that led me on a journey. And after that, I joined another coaching program because I knew I needed help. I had, made the decision and I was being aware, but I needed more guidance. And under Kathleen Cameron's guidance for the next 6 months, sent me on another journey of healing. But this time, this was more of the feminine energy. And I learned about how balancing my masculine and feminine energy, I could create anything in my life. Because before, I was working so freaking hard. Man, I was grinding, I was pushing. I've been a hairstylist for, I don't know, 38 years or something. A long time. It's hard work. And if what you're doing is hard work, I want you guys to know it doesn't have to be like that. And so I created this course. And, it's not just about looking, and it's about looking and feeling 10 years younger from the inside out. And in this course and in this masterclass on Friday, I'm going to show you the things that I did. And I'm going to also show you some of the things that I did to change my health and nutrition. Little by little, I think we can get overwhelmed. And I'm going to tell you, I had been carrying so much weight, extra weight, most of my life. I have been on every diet. I've done every diet plan there is. And I lost the weight and I gained it back every time. I gained it back. I don't know if you have done this. Affirmations every single day. Every day I was like, I am fit and healthy. I am powerful. And I said these things to myself. And I looked in the mirror and I learned how to love myself for the person I am today. I know I can do better, but where are you today in your life? I want you to look in that mirror and I want you to love yourself. I want you to say, yes, I am so proud of you. I'm proud of you because of what you've been through and where you are today. And that healing is going to not. That to come true for you. But you have to make a decision, that I'm not going to live this way, that you're not going to live this way. Then you got to have that burning desire to make the changes in your life. Once you have that desire, you take the next steps. So to be in your masculine and feminine energy, feminine is more spiritual, more intuitive, listening to your intuition. And my intuition led me to where I'm at today. It's beautiful. I actually ended up on property, um, the 35 acres. I'm looking at a beautiful pond out front, my window right here. It's absolutely gorgeous. You guys, I had to be clear on what I wanted. I had to be crystal clear. And so I was looking at other apartments and townhouses. But when I did that, they didn't feel good. When I came here to this house to look at it, it felt right. And I knew that this is where I needed to be. This was going to help heal me and ground me and help me become that next version. And within a month or so, I created a journal. I created an interactive journal that will be available very, very soon. So be looking for that too. It's called Unleashed, if I already mentioned earlier. As soon as I get the link for that, I'll share it with you in the comments below. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for listening. If you're here, it's not by accident. You were sent here on purpose. So what are you going to do with this? You know what? I quit judging. I quit judging others. I quit comparing myself to others. And you can too. And I'm going to tell you what, on the other side of this is an absolute beautiful life. So I'll put the in the comments below. I will also add the link to my masterclass this Friday called Unleashed. And if you can't make it, it will be recorded. And the recording will be on my website, which is being created right now and will be available very soon. It's Roberta Campbell Official. So, as a hairstylist of many years, after being in the beauty industry and helping others look beautiful from the outside, I want to help everyone from the inside. I know you can do it. I know you can. I know you can live a beautiful life that is not hustle, that is not grind, that is health and wellness. And you know what I realized too? Yeah, at first I wanted money. I needed more money. I never made enough money to support myself and my kids after the divorce. And so that was definitely the first goal. And as that progressed, I was aware that the thing that I really wanted in my life was freedom and happiness and health. I think that's what we all want. But we do have to also have that balance of the finances as well. So to learn the balance of the three, the finances, the health, and relationships, you learn to use the feminine and masculine energy along with the law of vibration, because your energy, I'm going to tell you what, people can feel it. If you've been out there somewhere where you've met someone that had bad energy, you kind of was like, oof, they're having a bad day. You know, they attack you with negativity and other things. We're going to let go of all that. We're going to come from a place of love and compassion. So thank you for being here. I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe to this channel and like this video and share it with a friend who needs to hear this, who is on this journey of healing. Guys, I got you. Come join me. Join me on this journey of raising collective consciousness, and this world will be beautiful. You will see the light in the darkness. I promise you. I love you all. Thank you so much for sharing today. And you know what? I can't wait to see you soon. And as my grandma used to say, until next time, see you later.